What's going on, everybody? My name is Chris. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I'm really happy to be back, and we're going to start off strong, and we're going to do actually the animal chin vert ramp, which is really cool just because it's been requested a lot and just the history behind it. What I'm going to be doing is actually giving you guys a tutorial on how to build it, even if you have zero experience, if you just got the game today. I mean, if you just did, like, it's going to be kind of difficult, but for the most part, any type of park builder, you don't need the DLC, you don't need to know how to do a merge glitch. And yeah, we're just gonna get right into it, and I'm gonna explain it as best as I can. I know I'm just giving a preface, that's why I don't want to take too long for this intro, but yeah, I'm just trying to explain it as best as I can. I know, like, some people were complaining that the park was floating. It's like, dude, that's the whole point of, you'll understand why. But so I might be a little bit rusty. One, I haven't made anything in a while, and two, I haven't done anything where it's not been on the merge glitch in a long time. But so the first thing we're going to be doing is actually using these props, and what we're the reason why we're going to copy and paste a bunch of these. I used to like to do about 6 or 7 of them, highlight them. I know I'm going to be doing duplicate the way it annoys the crap out of people, but I apologize. We're going to basically fill up this prop meter, and what it does, it kind of helps make sure the game doesn't freeze, which it's no guarantee. I know I've had it happen before because my save is currently almost full, so it might glitch, unfortunately, but it's just kind of a precaution to hopefully not have that happen. But that's just a thing of getting in the habit of making sure you save your parks. So I printed out some reference photos. I know it sounds weird, but I'm monitoring my recording to make sure it is, so I figured might as well just print it out because I'll actually have some good photos, and I have to flip through and everything like that. But yeah, we're just at the downtown area, and this ramp isn't going to look exactly identical to it, and the reason being is just because with the merging and having that limitation, it's not going to just look exactly the same. So if you guys want me to do maybe a follow-up where I like mess around with it in the merge, let me know down below. So the first thing we're actually going to be putting into it, or basically we're going to build this ramp kind of floating, and the reason being is so we can basically merge stuff as low as we can. And I know this might be annoying for some of you guys who have actually been making parks for a while, but some people don't understand the concept of, if I want to have this ramp this far deep into it, that's cool, but I can only put it halfway in here. It just limits our options, plus then you have to have this as the ground. It's kind of stupid, so that's why we build the park floating, and we can build stuff around it. So if you don't get that concept, then I apologize, because some people, I don't understand why, but don't mean to be criticizing that. But we're going to make sure our collision is off, and we're going to actually use it have it on and off at certain times. So the ramp looks relatively big, so I think we can build it as sized as appropriate as much as you want to do it. That's another thing. You want to make sure that the sizing is good. I know I definitely want to have at least 2 of these in the middle for the flat area, but I kind of might make this, see, if we make it 3 things wide, it's not that it won't be big, but I know some people might complain it's a little bit small, but I think we'll just leave it at that. Now what we're going to want to do is actually just use the quarter pipes for it, and since we're not using the merge glitch, it limits on how we want to make the quarter pipes. But the nice thing is these quarter pipes that in the vert terrain are phenomenal. Honestly, like, that's what I normally use for when I'm building vert ramp or of some sorts. So one thing we want to do is hide that bottom part, so we can I like to put on rotate and fine tune, and then you can kind of move it as slow as you want. And I like to hide that kind of, I can't think of the term of what it is below, but I like to hide it. And now we're going to so now we have that one side. Now, again, there is a roll-in right here with the merge glitch, or if I want to make this wider, we can. But I think then it will be kind of getting away from it, and not that the roll-in's the biggest thing, but if you guys, again, I can more do another tutorial if you guys want me to, with more like actually what it'll look like, just because we're limited with our options here. But nonetheless, and I want to do this on the other side as well, and so yeah, we want to go to the vert terrain, and then we want to have it so on the other side. And let's see, where did I put it here? A little bit. We want to have there to be some room underneath it. So like this. And actually, I want to move it one thing back, so you can have snapping if you want to snap it onto the end right there. And yeah, that seems like a good amount. And right here, I think, oh, that perfect. So now we can actually line up the top where the not vert ramp, but the spine will be. and that'll just go right there. And then now what we'll do is we want to extend this out, so there's a section over here. Let's see. Just want to make sure it's on the same plane, and it's not merging in. So what we're going to do is actually just hold this up right there, extend this out, and I don't think there'll have to be a piece right there. So now I'll merge this back in, and if it does, then see, yeah, so unfortunately there will be, but what we can do is actually to save a piece and not have to worry about it, we can actually have it go right, move it like so, and again we'll have merge this down. We'll do the medium-sized vert ramp, and the reason why is because I skate on hardcore, so I'm sizing it to that. So if you want to be unrealistic or do easy, size it to what you want. And I apologize for the sound in the background. Currently, there's landscaping being done. So there we have that, and we can move this out a little bit. So now we're starting to get, we have the main, like, I think the iconic image of it, if that's the right word. But the thing I think is going to be the most challenging is making this upper part of the small like mini ramp that they added on top. And the reason being is that it's kind of, there's not a good way to make it where it'll be skate well. So now I want to make sure that there's some pads underneath it. You can even put it like this. Then on the other side, so it looks like there's more just the half pipe over here, which we'll have to extend it out, and then we'll, yeah. So this part's pretty much, besides we actually have to do the bottom part and make sure that skates well. And one way we can do that is either, so if you guys are looking right now, if we move this in the middle, see how it won't be able to, you know, merge in. That's the problem a lot of you guys who don't have access to the merge glitch have to deal with. So again, I feel bad because that does suck. But what we're gonna want to do is kind of ease the transition off this quarter pipe, and the reason being is I will skate and show you guys why we will do that. So we're gonna kind of drop in, and it kind of kills. You can notice the skater, I guess it really doesn't matter. Oh, now that I looked skated, it actually doesn't. But I like to add a little bit more of a transition because it's not as hard, but I just like to do it so I can do it with this low vert ramp, and see it's easing that transition a little bit easier. So we will merge this. I don't know why it's not merging in right there. This is the headache of having to deal with this non-merge, or see, like, look at, I don't know why that's not moving in together. I see why you guys complain, because this is frustrating. See, I don't know why it's not merging into 3 pieces unless it thinks it is. Oh, that's interesting. So one way we can actually get around this is using the catwalk, and the reason being is that the game doesn't actually consider it this, like, there's like almost 2 different parts, and for some reason I can merge this in. So if you turn collision on, we kind of don't have to worry about it. And even if we add this little bit right here, we can actually either, if we want to line up the wood, but that almost doesn't even look that good. Let me just see what it looks like. Honestly, if we just merge it in, that doesn't look that good either. Why not? I mean, I guess it's supposed to be janky. It's the animal chin ramp. So now we have that merge on, and we have that transition. It's eased a little bit, so we'll turn snapping off. We're going to copy that, paste it, and again, there's another way you can duplicate it. I just do it the quote-unquote the bad way, I guess. I don't know. And then so now we'll grab one piece and put it on this side as well, and hopefully it should be skating well. Now, one problem you might have with using these pieces is that the stuff surrounding the part might not skate as well, but we'll have to see. So let's just do a test, and this is one thing, especially while making parts, you don't just build the entire park and just hope it goes well. You can test it. That's the nice thing about it. So let's skate this, and then, oh, awesome. So the spine works out pretty good. The transitions, we're not having any bumps here anywhere. This is actually skating really well. Awesome. So now we tried out like the basics, the bare bones. This is kind of what the animal chin ramp is. And I guess there's the extensions that we have to add. And there's also, I'm just looking at my reference photos, there is like an incline here, but we could add that actually. Never mind. I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking. We can add that. The reason being is because we have, if we use this basic down ledge right here, we can add it. And now that I'm looking at it, I feel like we should just extend this out a little bit. At least one. Yeah, definitely. So what we'll do is make this wider. I know I was talking about it, that it might be too big, but honestly, I feel like if it's one pad wider, it'll be just a little bit nicer. There we go. So now we have a lot more breathing room, and it gives us an area kind of for a flat, you know, this extending up area right here, kind of like I can't think of the name, the elevator. I don't know. I'm really bad at that. So we'll put this up right about here. And so now I got the flat up area. And again, I'm going to test this out because I want to make sure it skates well. That's the only thing that kind of sucks about that, again, without using the merge glitch, is that we can't get this wood texture right here. But nonetheless, it's still, as long as it skates well, just aesthetically, it won't look the best. But that's fine. This thing is skating phenomenally. So there we go. We got the elevator right there. And then there's actually I cannot talk. I'm sorry, guys. I am very rusty at doing commentaries, but nonetheless, now we can add this extension area, and we'll raise this up about yay high, and we'll have this. We'll have it right about there, or it looks like there's a little bit more. Looks like there's only like a little bit of an area right there. And again, same thing, we'll test it out. We won't be able to add any of the railings, but I don't think, oh, there was some in the original one. So there we go, we got it. That skates awesome. And then the two things that, again, we won't be able to make this rolling, but we got to figure out how we're going to do this kind of small mini ramp, and it should be able to, let's turn on collision off, and it won't be lined up exactly perfect, but we might be able to just go like so. We'll just have to angle this up a little bit more, and I feel like needs to be raised up. And then see, here's the thing where we're gonna have to basically figure out how we want to make it. It's where you're gosh, I cannot speak at all. I feel so bad because you guys are probably getting annoyed with this, so either that or I'm cutting it all out and you guys don't know what I'm talking about. But where some stuff can merge in and some can't. So now we're gonna actually turn collision snapping on, but collision on as well. And so we're gonna have this like here. And then what we're going to want to do is line this up as close as we can. This is going to be the little mini ramp area. And you can see we got a little bit of an underlip, which is fine. I'd rather be under it than over it. And the reason being is that the game will interpret it more like an actual ramp, I guess, or like an actual like coping. So you can see we still got to merge this right under, or before we do that, actually, I want to make sure it's in a good spot. And it is, but I want to make sure that so we want to move this over to get the correct placement, because I want to make it so there's more of an extension on this side. So return snapping off. Oh, that's gonna actually, so this thing's basically got to be where it is not permanently, but the way that the game will interpret it. But it's fine, we got the right size. So what we can do is leave this at the same height and just guesstimate, or as close as we can, to where this will be, and it'll be right about there. And one thing we might be able to do is actually add a wood siding to the side where the half pipe will be, so then we can get that wooden texture on that side. So now what we can do is we'll turn snapping off, and I think, oh no, okay, so we're gonna have to, so here, I'll line it up as close as we can, and then what we'll do is, wait, did I have snapping off? Oh, I had collision off. There we go. Now it should be fine. Yep, there we go. Okay. So now we want to merge this in as close as we can. And there we go. So now let's just see, that's the problem. It's more of a puzzle now. But the nice thing is, so one thing that's going to kind of suck with having this is I want to make sure that there's something on the side of here, but I don't think that there will be, because it'd be almost impossible, considering that the way the merge is going to happen is we're going to need to have like another section of a quarter pipe right here, if this makes any sense like that. So actually what we could do is merge this in. So we'll actually turn snapping collision on. So there we go. Now that'll merge in. We'll line this up as best as we can and make it somewhat skatable. And again, one thing we can do actually, a trick is, so I'm actually going to move this out a little bit, and then we're going to turn collision off, and then we're going to move this down a little bit, and then basically move it back into place. This is a trick that everybody did because you know, the game, that's just the way it was designed. And now we can have two pieces merged into each other, which is pretty cool. So that looks not too bad. So I'm actually just I'm slurring my words real bad here, but let's see here. We'll just try to skate it, and it's actually not that bad. So let's just try to see if we can land back into the half pipe. Awesome, that skates pretty well. Do the invert. Honestly, I don't think we have to worry about, even if we aren't able to add that wooden texture. So right there, obviously you guys saw it kind of failed, but I don't know if that was because of the gap there or if it was this. But so we're gonna have to do kind of the exact same thing, but on the other side. So what we're gonna do is turn collision off. We're gonna copy this, and we're gonna paste it, and we're gonna flip it, and then put it on this side. So for my reference photo, it looks like it's right about. It'll be off a little bit, which is fine in my opinion. But again, actually, I think we're gonna have to delete two of these. I just gotta, sorry guys, we gotta move this back over again, because we want to have the coping kind of be normal. So now we'll move this over here. We'll turn collision off, and so we can move it back into place, and then turn collision right back on. We'll slightly add that in, turn collision on, and then now we can move this back in. And you guys can adjust it, you know, to your liking. I'm just trying to give you guys, you know, an overview or a guide for those who are that are just starting out the park building process. So now we can add the other side, and unfortunately we can't really copy the other side, but we can copy the pieces that aren't merged in, or part of that collision. So now we can move it right about here, I'd say, and move it just a little bit behind the coping. And then what we can do, actually, since these are the same pieces, is copy them, and then turn our options, make sure our collision is on, copy it, and then we'll paste it, and then we should be able to merge just right into it. And if not, we can edit it to our liking where it doesn't stick out as much. So that doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's off by a little bit, but so now we got the ramps there, and then like I said, there's no rolling, but let's just try it out. I don't think this is like the major part of it, but I mean, it is a pretty cool aspect that they were just like, okay, let's just put a mini ramp on the top of a half pipe. Like that's like some like video game stuff that they did in the 80s. Like that's pretty cool. So the one thing that's annoying me is this gap right here. And I think the only way we might be able to get rid of that is actually, so what I'm gonna do is turn snapping on. We'll turn that on, the collision on. Place this over as a reference point, and then we're actually gonna move this stuff up. And so now I like the placement. So now we can merge that in, and actually basically fill in this gap. So now one thing we're gonna have to do is turn collision. So how did this, so this isn't merging in, but that's the problem. It's going into three pieces and it's freaking out. See, if you do, or no, if we turn collision off, sorry, excuse me, there we go. Now it should be relatively good. So let's try to, so now we can grab all these pieces, and we can actually, we'll test it right now actually. We'll just try to see if we can add that wooden texture on this side. So now we'll just move that in a little bit underneath it. and we fine-tuned it. So now these are all pieces that would be, I guess, non-collision is the correct term. And so we can leave this side, and then now what that other piece was for, it's a reference point that when I turn snapping back on and collision on, that it should be able to guide it back into place. And there we go. So now I filled it in. That looks a lot nicer. And I don't think I would be able to cover up that area, unfortunately. But the one thing I don't like, and I gotta fix, is actually just moving this thing out a little bit. So we're gonna actually undo that. And again, this is more just my fault. Or turn collision off a little bit and just extend this out. So hopefully it should, there we go, do it a little bit more. There we go. And same thing, I can move this over a little bit. Or we'll actually just grab these two and just make sure we cover up the coping a little bit more. There we go. And again, this is more of my fault, but it's more so you guys can understand kind of how it works. So let's turn snapping on, collision on, and now it should snap back right into place. And right now it's being a little bit finicky, I think. And of course it didn't snap in all the way, but that's fine. We'll leave it. And we'll do the same thing on this side. So I apologize, this isn't the most interesting part of it, but it'll help you get all your pieces together. So that looks good. And then now we just want to make sure we copy that. And so now we can take this up. And for that other one, all I did really was just snap this into place. We'll turn snap it collision off. And yeah, we just went right about there. That should be fine. And now for the other side, we just want to have it so it extends out into the quarter pipe. Or, well, that one it didn't cover it, but that's fine. So now we'll snap grab all the pieces together, turn our collision on, and now it'll snap right back into place. So I can turn that off. Now, unfortunately, we have this extended area because we are using more pre-built stuff, but you know, it's not much we can do about it, unfortunately. So I guess for most people, I guess this is, you know, this is pretty much the animal chin ramp that we'll be able to make, but I'm gonna put some more stuff. So if you guys want to continue watching, feel free to, but I'm just gonna put, you know, just a barrier on the sides just because why not? And I feel like, you know, our skaters need protection from that. I don't know, it's more aesthetics if I'm being honest here. And we can add it. I don't think it'll be snap onto this side though, because now we have a lot of pieces merging into each other, but we'll turn it. Oh, so it did. So that's awesome. Oh, but we have that awkward piece right there. That side won't have anything. This thing won't have anything, and maybe this side, I don't know. Yeah, there's not much else to it, so I will stop recording and I will check in with you guys when the park is done to what I want, but it won't be that much because it'll just be foliage. So yeah, I will do a jump cut right now. Alrighty guys, so I didn't do that much to it. I really did just add some grass around the park. I tried to add some shrubbery, and that's pretty much it. But it definitely does help the park, and it definitely feels more, excuse me, like actually, you know, the animal chin ramp. You know, we can't be in the middle of a field in California, unfortunately, but nonetheless, I'm pretty stoked about it. I hope you guys found this tutorial somewhat helpful. I know it's not the best depiction of it, but I hope at least gave you some ideas, or at least helped guide you, or you know, I'm sure there's somebody that could do it better than I can. I just tried to, you know, give some example into people that maybe that had no idea how to do it. So if you guys enjoyed that video, make sure you click that like button, and make sure you subscribe. And also leave a comment down below with a suggestion of what I should do next, or like what park or any spots or anything you guys want me to do a tutorial full in depth of how to make it. Let me know down below in the comments below. I'll read every comment. And yeah, anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and my name is Chris. I will see you again soon. Peace.